and gentlemen, in introducing my original invention, the water tragically, although there is nothing supernatural about it, I am willing to pocket the sum of $1,000 to anyone who can prove that it is possible to obtain air inside of the processor when I'm locked up in it in the regulated manner after it has been filled with water. Should anything go wrong when I'm locked up, one of my assistants walks to the prison, ready to rush in, demolishing the glass, allowing the water to flow out in order to save my life. Harry Houdini, October the 10th night, 1914, Rockford, New York.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, thank you. You know, that voice hasn't been heard by any audience in over 100 years. In fact, you are the first public audience to hear the actual recording of Houdini's voice. The son of a Budapest rabbi, Mayor Samuel Weiss moved his family to Appleton, Wisconsin. Of course, Chicago was its backyard. By the time, in 1914, when Thomas Alva Edison came to this young man, he wanted him to record, get it out of his container, on a record, on his new invention, the phonograph, his voice, on a record almost exactly like this, which was owned by a friend of mine, as a matter of fact. And Jay Marshall finally sold that to David Copperfield. Thank you, David Copperfield, for letting us use that this evening. So they moved to Appleton, Wisconsin, and then soon after that, the voice was heard around the world. Of course, he was already synonymous with magic, the great name Harry Houdini. By the time he came to Chicago, the Schubert Princess Theater, the venue in 1926, in the spring of 1926, this would be his longest run ever. To be one day or 2 days or a week in one location was a lot for Harry. To be 2 months in one location was something short of spectacular for him. Little did he know, or the public, that less than 7 months later, Harry Houdini would die a tragic death on October 31st, 1926. His show that evening was divided into 3 separate parts: magic, escapes, and this last segment was called, Do the Dead Really Come Back? You see, Houdini was an ardent spiritualist. He believed in afterlife, but he was also spiritualism's greatest foe. Many of his friends, like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle of Sherlock Holmes fame, lost his entire fortune to fraudulent mediums. So Houdini spent his time debunking the frauds, the charlatans, the mediums, the psychics, those who said they could produce with oddball cameras, psychic plasma, ectoplasma, and produce things onto boards. I asked somebody earlier this evening when I first came in, are you out there, lady, young lady? Gail, right? Gail. Hi, Gail, how are you?
Good.
Gail, you're our first helper this evening. I came to your table almost a half an hour ago and I asked you to do me a favor. In your loudest voice, because you were seated at the table, would you tell everybody exactly what I had you do?
You had me take a single $1 bill.
Stop there. A single $1 bill. Did I see this dollar bill? Did you hide it from me? In other words, I asked you to do that.
Yes.
Am I correct? Good. This is important. I asked her to take any single out of her purse. And then what did you proceed to do after that?
I took it out of my wallet,
Yes.
and you had given me some instructions on how to hold
And so you folded it, correct? Many times.
Several times.
And then what did you do after that?
You gave me a white, clean, white envelope.
Yes.
You asked me to put the dollar bill inside the envelope.
Yes.
And you make me lick the envelope.
Yes.
Close.
That's the sexual part of the evening. She's all excited. Go ahead, Gail.
And then from there, I proceeded to put it back into my purse.
I asked you to fold it and put it back in your purse, and then when I called for you, I would ask you to take it out of your purse, which you will do now, if you would please. Right now. Sit right where you are. You don't need to come up on stage. Houdini would play 2 months at the Schubert Princess Theater. For those of you who don't know where the Schubert Princess Theater was, it's now where the Federal Kaczynski Building is. It lived until 1943 as one of the premium houses to play in. It was a gorgeous house. And I'll tell you a little bit about this poster later. It is one of 2 existing posters in the entire world from the Schubert Princess Theater shows. Okay, you have the envelope? Would you show the envelope? Let everybody see. Is it still sealed?
And it's still sealed.
Very good. Let me move my microphone and let me get a little something to write with. You know, no matter where Houdini traveled around the world, he always managed, especially when it was the time for his father's yahrzeit. He could be in Russia, he could be in Germany. He always found a synagogue, as he writes in his memoirs, so he could say Kaddish for his father. His father had a difficult life because he was from the old Germanic version of Judaism, a very, very Orthodox group. And when he moved to Appleton, Wisconsin, well, you know, Wisconsin. They moved to Milwaukee, and Harry Houdini and his brother first performed at the Chicago World's Fair as the Houdini brothers. I'd like you to open that envelope, if you would, for the first time. There are some people around you, and I don't care if they look over your shoulder, but if you see anything, please don't yell it out. Okay? Are you doing that for me? Good. Open up, take out its contents. Is the dollar still there?
Yes.
Good. For the first time, would you unfold your dollar, please? And I need you to think of that dollar clearly. Look at it as a whole, if you would, please. So for almost 60 nights, Houdini would bring up a different psychic or medium that agreed to appear on stage. These were the people who were taking people for their money. You're looking at the number now? Please do.
Yes.
Good. Very good. Yeah, I don't like that. And every night, he would bring them up, and they were supposed to replicate what they could do when people paid them money. But Houdini debunked every single one of them. Not one iota of evidence was ever found that these people could manifest the ectoplasma, the floating bells, the voices, or the images of people. They could not do it on stage in a controlled environment. Please look at the date of that bill. It's really difficult. And by the end of those 2 months, every single person had been debunked. And Houdini proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that he could do exactly what they were doing by performance art, or as we know as performance magic, stage magic. Gail,
Yes.
in a loud, clear voice, this is just a guess, I'm not sure. In a loud, clear voice, for the first time, to this audience, as they've been listening to the story of Harry Houdini, would you please read the serial number of that bill out loud very succinctly and loudly. Stand up so everybody can hear you.
Ready?
I'm ready. Are you?
0710043E.
Say that one more time.
B0710004E.
Pretty close. And it's got a B. That means it was from the city of New York. Give Gail a nice round of applause. Thank you, Harry Houdini. Don't be taken by charlatans, ladies and gentlemen. It's not good. The story of this poster goes as this. About 5 years ago, my wife and I were traveling, and I get a call from a well-known poster shop. And I collect posters, but he collects high-end Belle Epoque posters, and he had my name down. But I told him, if you ever see anything from Magic, please call me. Well, he called me in excitement because he needed someone to verify this poster. Why? Well, nobody had seen the image. Though I had seen some of these images before on a similar banner that it was 9 foot long. It was discovered by a Polish roofer with broken English, who, when redoing a 1920s style bungalow on Addison near WGN television, when he unroofed the roof, he found 100 of these posters used as insulation in the rafters. Now the roof was so bad that bird excrement and other conditions from the weather had really soiled the posters bad. They were cut in half and thirds, so he threw them all out except for 2. But even he knew he had a special find. And he was willing to sell not just one, but both of them, which I became the proud owner of. And if you looked a few weeks ago at the History Detectives on WTTW, on PBS locally here, it was the subject of a History Detectives section where they wanted to find out more about this poster at the Princess Theater. So that's the story of that. Give yourselves a good round of applause for being a good audience and helping me, Gail. Thank you so much. And now, I need somebody in this audience. You know, I know almost everybody. And I must say, you've always, since my wife and I and Melissa have come into your family, you've really made us feel like family. And I worked with him on Shabbos, and I'm going to ask him. He did not know I was going to pick him. Bill Gerber, would you stand up, please? A little nice applause for Bill. Thank you. Bill, I want to thank you for volunteering, okay? Just stay right there, though. If that falls over, let me know, would you please? I'm going to ask you to be the magician, Bill. Your chance to be the performer on stage. You do not have to call out one single solitary B-I-N-G-O. How lucky can you be? Bill, you are the magician. So I happen to have a deck of cards which I'd like you to hold on to. Do you mind? Can you use your imagination, Bill? Bill, are you there? I have a deck of cards right here, Bill. Use your imagination. Regress. Here we go. I'm going to toss the cards to you, and in great theatrical fashion, you're going to catch the deck of cards. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Very good, Bill. That was pretty good, actually. Yeah, they have size, they have weight, they have dimension. So what I'd like you to do with those cards, if you would, is shuffle them up, nice and fancy, if you would. Go ahead, shuffle them nice and fancy, nice and fancy. So, Bill, that's pretty good. But it's a better trick if you take them out of the box first, okay? No, well, he's new at this, folks. You shouldn't laugh at him. He's new at this, okay? Rich Newman got a big kick out of that. I love that. Okay. What I'd like you to do, have you taken them out of the box? Yes. Place the box somewhere. Don't lose it. Place it on the table or hand it something very good. Now, fan the cards out like a magician would, face down. Very good. Would you walk over to the table next to you on your left? Yes, over there. And is there there's a lady right there. What is your first name, ma'am? Ina. Ina, would you do me a favor? Would you select one of his cards, please? But Ina, be careful not to show it to me because I'm still facing. I'll turn my back, okay? Go ahead. Did you like that card, Ina, or do you want to take another one? That's good. Now, folks, for those of you who think Ina is strange, just remember who's holding the entire deck. I love you, Bill. Close the remainder of the cards, Bill. Turn them upside down so the cards are face up. You don't have to hurt yourself doing it. Just kind of, yeah, good. And now, your name was? Ina. Correct, Ina. Place that card back in the deck face down, okay? And Bill, you're going to get a nice round of applause by bringing the cards up on stage, if you would, please. Oh, a little nicer round of applause. We've all been working hard this week. Basements flooding, lots of water, lots of rain. I could not have predicted that. Would you bring them up on stage, please? Look, you guys act like you don't trust me. Bill, thank you for being up here. Appreciate it. Come on, everybody. May I have the cards, please? Okay, I'm going to shuffle up the cards a little. Bill, may I have the box? You left it on the table. Would you toss the box up to Bill, please? Whoever's holding the box on the table. Would you just toss it? There goes Bill. Catch it, Bill. Catch it. Just toss it, please. Hey, but it's this. Let me take the box, place the cards in the box. I close the lid, come a little closer, Bill. Would you believe that I can actually make those cards materialize at my fingertips on the count of 3? Do you believe? Say, I believe. I believe. Say with conviction. I believe. If we can get the entire audience to count to 3, you will believe, okay? Let's get the entire audience to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. I heard one wow. Ma'am, don't expect miracles, okay? You selected a card, didn't you? Oh no, you had somebody select a card, did you? Ina, you're up here for another reason, to be the eyes and ears for the audience. It's a deck of cards, still closed. Ina, where are you? There you are. It's hard to see with the spotlight. Ina, would you be kind enough, in a loud, clear voice, would you yell out the card that you selected? Yell it out loud so everybody can hear you nice and clearly. Go ahead.
7 of clubs.
I'm sorry, Ina?
7 of clubs.
Would you like to take another card? Sweating. I'm going to open this box so you can see it. If you take just one step forward, okay? Just don't fall off the stage, okay? Good. Okay, I'm going to open this up. 7 of clubs. No shuffling. Hold on to the box. You're good at that. Hold on. I will fan these cards so you can see them at face value. And Bill, since you are the only person up here, you are the eyes and ears of the audience. There is one card and only one card that is upside down. Would you take it out? Would you share it with the audience, please? It is. You know, that's the first time that trick ever worked. That's true. Okay. Well, we have been going through quite a lot with weather. Houdini's name would appear during his 2 months here every single day on the front page of the Chicago Tribune and the Chicago Daily News. It was the full page with pictures of him and usually the fraudulent psychic on stage. It made news. In fact, soon after he finished his performances, in May, the first week of May, he went to Congress. He was asked to testify in front of a committee that was investigating whether or not spiritualism, believe it or not, whether or not spiritualism should be deemed a religion, which would have given them all the benefits and discounts that we all enjoy in our synagogue, right? It never happened. He testified for 2 straight days, and it never passed because of him. This is today's Chicago Tribune newspaper. I'm going to step aside from the mic. And it is dated Sunday, July 24th. And I'm going to ask you, each and every one of you, to do me a favor. I'm off mic for the second, but I'm going to ask you to memorize a particular article or picture so so that when you see it later, you'll be able to say, hey, that's my article, my picture. It could be a byline, a comic, something in color. Commit it to memory so that when you see it later, you'll be able to say, that's my picture, that's my article, that's the page. Would someone please yell out a page number? 2, thank you. That's very good. That's good. Now some of you will actually say, it will appear that the magician is ripping this newspaper. See, I devised this method when I used to travel on the CTA, going to and from work, to take the paper every morning, but the Chicago Tribune was always the bigger, the bulkier newspaper, making it very difficult to carry. Now some people will actually come up to me after the show and say, it even sounded as if the paper was newspaper. He was ripping. That's only the illusion. The more I rip the newspaper, the easier it is to place it in my briefcase and take it home for the return trip. Of course, you will notice that now being in pieces, it's even easier. All I had to do was find out my particular article or picture, and that would be it. Now raise your hand if you remember a particular byline of the paper. Just raise your hand. Or do this by applause. Anybody remember a particular picture? By applause so I can hear it. How many of you remember the entire Chicago Tribune newspaper? Article or picture is in the paper, and if it is, then I will graciously accept your applause. We'll return to that later. That's important. I'm going to try to do this. I don't know if this will work. I'm going to switch this on. Testing. Testing 1, 2. Oh, that works. Wow. Can you turn that down? It's just not my regular, not number 2. Yeah, you got it? Good, that's good. I'm going to go out on the house, and hopefully this won't be back. I'm going into the audience, right into the audience, which is something I never do during a stage show, but I'm doing it tonight. I'm doing it tonight, and I'm going to do it with somebody who I have never met, or I don't recognize the face. Ma'am? Hi. How are you? What is your name? Barbara, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Levin. How are you? Good. I got this wonderful box made for us by artisans in Hanoi when we were there. I also brought a paper bag. I have a deck of cards. Now this is hard for everybody to see. We're trying to play this as big as we can. I brought a deck of cards. And you'll find out that it's not a complete deck of cards. I've never played with a complete deck of cards, that's true. I'm going to ask you to take the cards, all of them. This time you get to play with the cards. You don't have to imagine. Shuffle them up nice and fancy. Mix them up thoroughly if you would. Let the entire audience see what you are doing if you can. She is shuffling. Very good. The spotlight is on you. Very good. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to spread them on the table. Now I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. I'd like you to select any particular card out of this deck, being careful that I don't see it. There are no reflections or mirrors or something, and feel free to change your mind 2 or 3 times so you know I'm not influencing your choice. Is that okay? Okay, go ahead. Wait, are you sure? Okay, don't look at it, just slide it over. Don't look at it. Just go, did you look at it? Oh, well. Only as you enjoy it. I'll tell you. Cover with both hands. I don't want to be accused of cheating. Okay? In a moment, I'm going to turn my back. I'm going to ask you, remember when we call these magic markers? I'd like you to take my Sharpie. And I want you to sign your name. Don't look at it yet because I'll be accused of cheating. Sign your name on the face of the card. That's the size of the pictures or numbers. Okay? And sign it real big so that when you see it later, you can say, that's my pictures. Ma'am, where are you going? I didn't leave when you came in. got my brief, God bless him, I love you. He said, very goodly, very good. Cover with both hands, let me see it. Did you, cover with both hands, did you sign it? You did. Now, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor, because I want the audience to be a part of this. I'm going to turn my back, I'm going to cover my eyes, okay? And I'd like you to show that to the audience. Don't yell out the card, please. Please, I'll cover my eyes. I'll cover it. Show it to them. Don't yell out, I can't see it. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. You're just part of it. You have to believe that she wouldn't be dishonest. Place the card face down. That doesn't make you feel very comfortable here. Place your hands over the card if you would, please. Good, I'm coming back. I'm going to break the deck. Right about there. Place your card right on top. Good. I'm going to shuffle these cards as best I can. Okay? Answer me truthfully. The bottom card, the 5 of hearts, was that your card? Yeah. It was not, because it has no signature on it. The 10 of hearts, was that your card? Give me 50 more chances and we'll find out. You guys didn't know what you were paying for, did you? Huh? I understand. Okay. I'm going to close this box right in front of you. If I can, my hands are a little sticky. And I have a paper bag. Would you open it up and check for trapdoors? Check for anything that you might find there. What was your first name again? Barbara, turn out, please. This is an extremely, hold on to the bag. Is it an empty bag? Good. This is an extremely dangerous trick. It uses a very sharp knife. Are you left-handed or right-handed? Good. With your right hand, hold on to that knife. The left hand holds on the right hand. Being careful not to thrust quickly forward. Because you've been doing something known throughout the entire North Shore as ritual circumcision. Laugh. You don't laugh. The last time that happened to me, I couldn't walk or talk for almost a year. You know, when I tell that at Christian fellowship meetings, it just doesn't go over the same. Now, that is an extremely sharp knife, but be careful, sir. Holding your legs is a good idea at this point. Hold it right here, don't move it. It is a very sharp, it is a sharp, sir. It appears sharp, doesn't it? Yeah, good. It's an empty bag. The bag is empty. Please don't move that knife. And your card has been signed and sealed someplace. Don't move that knife. Inside the box. I'm going to stab this as best I can. Once, twice, ow, 3 times. Barbara, the 2 hearts. You are a wonderful, wonderful, gracious audience. You can unfold your legs now, sir. And who wanted to bring children to this, right? Okay, anyways. I thank you for helping me. I'm going to ask if somebody in this house happens to have let's see, like a $10 bill or a $50 or $100 bill would be good too. Does somebody have something like that? Just pull it out. You'll get it back. We're insured. Ada, we are insured, aren't we? I'm sorry. What's that? Well, one's not big enough, sir.
I got a 10.
Something bigger than that? Who's got the biggest bill here? You got a 10? Who's got a 20? Anybody got 50? 100? Oh, 100! Hey! What is your name, sir? I don't want to know. That's right. $100 bill, Jay. That's right. I'll stand over here now so the audience can see this. $100 bill. I'm sorry, sir? So I work alone, I do my own lines, okay? I don't understand this. What is this? It was Jay, right? Yeah. Houdini used to do all kinds of wonderful magic. Don't worry about it, folks. Don't worry about it at all. Jay, do you have another 100? You know, I know, Si, you have $1, don't you? Yeah, sure. Just a 1. Who's got a 1? Anybody, quick. The biggest gets the word. Si's getting his wallet out. Mark this down. Si is getting his wallet out, everybody. I need a 1. I need a 1. Who's got a 1? 1. Right over here. Good. Give me your 1. Just give me your 1. Very good. Oh, good. Let me ask you a question. Hi, how are you? Can I ask you a question? Do you prefer big ones or small ones? The rabbi's wife yet, huh? You no, when the rabbi's wife talks, we listen, right? I'm sorry? Jim said, I've never seen one that big. I don't blame her. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, well, I know. Probably something more like a little smaller like this, right? Yeah, something like that would never hurt you. Just a tiny little one. Would you hold on to that for just a moment? That's enough. You know what I hate about this trick? That I have to leave the audience in a moment. And I'm obligated by Magician's Credo to always return the money. And I always like to do that. And here's the dollar. Nice round of applause for our volunteers who did an absolutely wonderful job. Please give them a nice round of applause for doing a wonderful job there. Thank you very much. And Jay, I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a nice evening. I'll go up there. I'm sorry. Oh, I made a mistake. I gave him the 100. If you got the one, would you make sure you exchange it, please, okay? I'm coming back on stage here. Oh, you know something? I need 2 gentlemen volunteers. 2 gentlemen, just raise your hand. I need 2 gentlemen. I've got one here. Thank you. Let's see. Ken Durbin, come on up, Steve. Just give him a nice round of applause. For those of you who do not know these gentlemen, I'll have them introduce themselves.
My name is Ken Dermer.
Hey. And you are, sir?
George Houdini.
With a wonderful Budapest accent. Hello.
George Corbett.
Thank you, George. We appreciate the 2 of you coming up here. Houdini did escapes, the middle part of the show. Of course, what you heard was his introduction to the Chinese water torture cell. We're not doing the Chinese water torture cell tonight, unfortunately, but if you don't mind, I need to take off my coat for this. And gentlemen, I happen to have a piece of rope here. So if you check that rope out, make sure there's no trap doors, check the end, make sure it doesn't come apart. Yes, give him a part of that if you would, please. Go ahead, pull on it, I'll tell you what. Let me help you here in just a second. Thank you. I'm going to actually help myself.
Can't hear you.
Of course,
He said he was going to decuff himself.
Shelley, mark my words, he will regret that. Mark my words. Now, gentlemen, each of you hold on the piece of the end of the rope, please. Hold on tight, real tight, both hands if you would. Hold tight, make sure it is a solid piece of rope all the way. I appreciate it. Good, don't hurt yourself. Now I'm going to ask you to do what Houdini would often do. I will tie the ends together, each of you hold on to the end of the rope there, right there. Let me place my wrist inside the rope. And now, gentlemen, put a little straight. Okay, gentlemen, would you pull the rope tight just to the point of inflicting pain? Pull. Pull. Ow, you're past the point. You can pull a little more, I think a little more. And you notice, ladies and gentlemen, my hand is turning a very bright purple at this point. Drop the ropes if you would, please. And George, would you walk behind me, please, and really grab hold of the end of the rope. Boy, I really got to know you both. You get me so nervous. I really got to know you both very well. Take each end in one hand and tie it around my other wrist, please. Take an end in each hand and tie it around my wrist. Tight. I'll turn to the audience. Tie it very tightly. Don't be afraid. Tie tight, tight, good. Now tie another knot on top of that, if you would, please. Securing the rope, make it tight. Are you satisfied that it's tight? Yes. So am I. And would you check that real quick, please? Sir, would you come here and verify that this is very tight? Would you just come here quickly, please? Please, it's really difficult. Thank you, sir. I assure you this is extremely tight. And usually Houdini was undercover, but I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. There's another piece of rope there on that table. Would you just Bring it right over here. Now the smoke is still as tight as it was before. Shut up, Ken. Anyways, is it tight? Can't check it. Tight. Now, George, if you do me a favor, would you just give him an end of the rope? We'll just give him an end of the rope. And, I'm sorry, slowly pick it up and do it, please. Okay? Put it back on my head. I'll just take it. Now you see this is very tight. Check it, George. That's enough. Can't check it. Very tight. Each of you. I'll move it myself, guys. That's all right. Would you tie that rope just as tightly around my ankles as you did around my hands, please? Tie it tightly right around. I'll tell you, they're a little confused. Let's give them a good round of applause for coming out. And not here, I'm leaving you up here alone. George, thank you very much. George, I do not want to run over time. George, do you happen to have the time on you by any chance? George, you've been such a gentleman. Can I have something special for you up here? George, what I don't want you to do is leave home without it. So if you come back here... It must have been a rough week. Let's give George... I'm not sure this is his. Oh, here it is. It says, George Houdini. Let's give him a good round of applause. George, thank you. Thank you very much. Houdini would affect all kinds of escapes, and Ken is going to help me with them right now. You'll see I have a rug here. The rug has a number of colors on it. A number of colors, shapes, objects, all kinds of things. And Ken, if you just stand behind the carpet here, right behind it, and I'd like you to describe to the audience the imagery that you actually see, if you would please. What I'd like you to do is actually get on your knees, if you would, please. Both knees, if you could. And just, good. And just describe it to the audience. Oh, with your hand here. I'll give you the mic. Okay? And here. Describe it clearly. I'll be right back, folks, okay?
It's kind of like a Rorschach test with orange and green and blue and red, triangles. A little louder! There is a large piece of design in the center, and then there are 4 that are around it. There are a couple on the side, and...
You're done describing the design. So you want to write the songs, you want to produce, you want to direct the Purim spiel, and then also star in it, huh? Okay. This used to be called Lee's Revenge. That's right. Shelley's insurance paid at home? Now actually, this is the pillory escape that Houdini would do in front of a live audience. But Houdini would do it with a cover. The cover would totally hide his method of escape. But we're going to show it to you for the first time. It's an old escape, over 100 years old, and he will use the pillory. Good, your hands are naturally where they should be. It's easy to support your weight. There's a button right here. Now don't press the button yet. And when you will see this happen, we will all count to 3. On the count of 3, he will press the button on the pillory, and you will see the pillories spring open, allowing him to extricate his head, and he'll be free. And this is the way Houdini did it. So we can get everybody to count to 3 and allow a clear voice. Here we go. 1, 2, wait, hold on. Remember, don't press the button until 3, okay? Here we go. Everybody, here we go. 1, 2, 3. You know, sometimes it didn't work. Oh, well. I only know one way of extricating his head from this mess. I'll be right back. Excuse me.
This is an extremely sharp stainless. I'm sorry, I didn't want you to see that. This is an extremely sharp stainless steel surgical blade. Sir, would you show everybody how sharp this blade is, please? I wouldn't do it to you twice, would I? Is it sharp? No, thank you. Hold it right there. Don't move. Look, it might have been my mother's
cold.
thing. What?
It's cold.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. I'm sorry. Yeah, maybe if you hold on to your ear. You know. Oh my God, you can sit down, sir. That's right. Okay. I'm sorry. I feel real bad about this.
This is the part where we ask the audience, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to put Ken back together again. Would you like us to put Ken back together again? Mixed reviews, Ken. You know, because I like the Dermer family, I will put you back into one piece.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll put it back in one piece and give Ken Dermer a nice round of applause. I'll take you out of the stop. Give him a nice round of applause for coming up and helping. He is still in one piece. Thank you, Ken.
Ken, you don't happen to have the time, do you? Houdini spent so much time with spiritualism. I'm going to kind of clear this up here a little bit and explain to you what we're going to do next. We're going to try to spiritualize with ectoplasma and the crowd a special photo opportunity. Give me just one moment to move this in place.
I'll fix that.
That's right.
We're fine with that. We are fine. If I may ask,
Your indulgence. Since this is a photo opportunity for the entire group tonight, to remember this night for years to come, I'd like to ask my dear friend, who has become our dear friend, Cantor Benjamin Warshawski, to join us on stage. Please, yes, you bet. Please, come on stage. We can, yeah, sure. Our daughters enjoy playing with each other. We really appreciate it. Why don't you take off your jacket, relax a while. Good, take your jacket. Beautiful. Gorgeous. I'm going to send this, will you have this out to be cleaned and pressed, please? Very good. This is a camera. We're going to do a photo opportunity. A blank board. Hopefully the ectoplasma, the spirits of the night, and of the room, the spirits of the night, will help create what we're trying to do tonight. I'm not going to cut your head off. I saved that for Ken. Anyways.
but to get into the turn of the century, that would be the 20th century, well, I'm going to give you a little artisan's cake, if you don't mind. Dress you up a little. Dress you up just like they would have at the tip of your leg. Figured taking photos was really art at the time. Look good. And to cap this off with a little artisan's cap, with a little French beret. You have to put it on. Would you please? Put it on. He's putting it on. See, I took off my clothes, I didn't get that applause. Don't say anything. So, you are the photographer, the photog for this. Your arts abound, and we are going to try to recreate what Houdini did on stage with the spiritualists by creating an ectoplasma gel-like substance that will create something on this blank board. So, in order to do that, you have to get into the camera. The cameras in those days were quite big, so if you'd be kind enough to scooch behind the camera here, I'll bring this up a little more forward. Okay? Can you scooch behind the camera here? And you'll see it's got the lens and the plate. And I'll just cover you up here, make you nice and comfy. Good. Can you hear me at least? Yeah, good. And here's the bulb to the camera. Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will take a picture. You need to get on your best smiles. For this, are you able to get a clear shot at this point, Ben? No. No? Oh. Take the lens. Focus it a little. Good. I do that for a living with lenses, so it's good. Can you see it now? No, it's darker. It's, forgive me. It's the lens cap. The lens cap is black. You know something? I'm going to take this into the audience, and maybe I can get somebody from the audience to help me out here. Okay? Just follow me. Right over here, right back here, ladies and gentlemen, right back here. I need a strong, oh, you're strong, aren't you? You're a strong gentleman. Take this, please, and take off the lens cap. Just take off the lens cap. Just screw it. It's screw. Good screw. Try hard. Try harder. Harder. Back here. Come on, you try harder. How about you? Try harder. You can't do it. Okay, we need somebody that's obviously stronger and can do this. Oh, you, here. Would you be kind enough to... What are you laughing for? Just, go ahead. Just, that's good. Whoa! Oh, so that's what was blocking that. I'm sorry. Thank you for clearing it up. Hey, can you believe anybody ever made a living doing this? Well, I'm back on stage. And in fact, I'm going to place the lens back here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see that it's nice and clear now. Oh, there's something in the lens. Let me see if I can fix that here. Oh, Andrew, you always wear spiffy, I'll tell you. Nice color. Let's see. Oh, almost got like a Japanese flag. Well, he's multicultural. Oh, beautiful. I didn't. Is there a purpose behind it? Oh, we're just clearing the lens out. I see. There's something attached here. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry for that, folks. Please. Yeah, are we clear now? Are we completely clear? I think we are. Okay. I guess that's what happens when you lose your pants. Anyways, I think we're clear. Oh. It feels very good at this, it's been warm and humid. Let's see if we got a picture. We're ready to take a picture, ladies and gentlemen. I've got the flash. I'm going to take the bulb from you. Andrew? Everybody, would you count to 3 in a loud, clear voice and say, photo. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Photo. Believe it or not, you don't need a big flash. It actually has happened. Let's take a look. Let me go over here. Take a look. Let's take a look and see. And sure enough, oh my goodness. Well, it's a little cockeyed, but we had a lot of stuff in there. Let us not forget to sign up for August 21st. Oh my God. I would have expected no less from Kendra. You're doing that. It was an incredible event last year. We do ask that it's in August. It's just a few weeks away. You will have the time of your life. a world-class voice with lots of surprises. We all know what it is to hear Capper sing on Shabbos, but as you know, he is an opera star in his own right. Ladies and gentlemen, would you thank Hector Warshawski? Ken Dermer!
What a mess. Thank you, Ken. You can keep it for now, okay? Just have it dry cleaned and sent back later. It's not back yet. Take a seat. I mentioned it during Shabbos on Saturday, that almost a month ago. Carlos, would you meet Judy Frank? Judy, where are you? Judy, thank you so much for having me here this evening. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Would you join Carlos in the lobby, and I will explain the rest of it. If you walk through the lobby, there was a box that has been locked up in the cabinet. We're about to uncover its secrets, so that tomorrow you will be talking about it. She's going to go meet him. Carlos is unlocking the cabinet back there. He will bring it out. It'll take a moment, and we will see what we have. Are we getting close? They unlocked it. Somebody's telling me what's happening? Good. Don't bring it on stage. I have not touched it. What I'd like you to do is go somewhere in the house with it. Somewhere in the house. This was mailed officially by the United States Post Office Service. It was sealed by a place that you will learn of in a moment. Go further in the back if you would, maybe towards the middle. Pick out any lady and gentleman that could help you with that, if you would, please. It doesn't make a difference where it is, of your choice. Somebody who's adept at unwrapping packages. She's choosing wisely. Anybody? Way in the back there. Oh, good. Oh, okay. Is that Joel? Joel. Okay, Joel. Tell me what the box says.
It says, "Do not open until asked to do so," by magician Levin on July 24, 2011.
We're here. This was mailed over 3 weeks ago after we got back from New York. I had something done. If somebody has a knife or something sharp that can help you open that box, would you do that right now? It has been sealed. It has not been touched by me or by anybody. When it was delivered to the office, the instructions were to lock it neatly in the showcase up in front. And explain, Joe, you're opening up? Joe, what do you see?
The surgeon is working here.
The surgeon is working. Very good. And Joel, tell me when you've got the lids open.
Almost there, doctor.
Almost there. This is somewhat tedious, but very important.
I've got the carton open.
You got it. What's in there?
There are little foam pellets.
Oh, I love foam pellets. Thank God Carlos gets to clean them up afterwards. I don't have to touch them. That's right.
Then there is a
A
carton.
container.
A container.
What do you see in the container? Can you make it out?
Yes, inside the container is something wrapped in a wrappers from Bread Smith.
Yes.
Handmade Hearth Bakery.
That's right. I had them bake this especially for us. It is kosher. And if you would, I think they've actually taped the top of that.
It is completely sealed.
Would you be kind enough to open it up?
I need the doctor, I need the knife.
Can you imagine if he was a Moyle?
Okay. All right. Delicately, we're very
And because
delicate.
people don't want to be here to next Shabbos, so you can do this a little further, please. Yeah. Joel, I'm going to use that container later on. Okay, so. He's actually open. It's been taped shut. And they followed my directions to seal this completely.
Boy, this is really tough. I think I could use a blowtorch.
Can somebody help you?
Oh, I'm really bleeding.
If you need help, please, a couple people will help him out. Quickly. Do not, it should pop right open,
The
please.
knife closed, I cut my hand.
It's just been taped shut. I also want to acknowledge that it's rare in all the years that I perform, because it's usually on the road, that I would have family members here. I want to acknowledge my mother, who's actually there. Hi, Mom. And my sister Eileen, all the way from Dallas, my friend Neil. Thank you for being able to see my lovely wife, Elena, who I think did you get it open?
It's open!
It's open. Okay, would you give it to, let Judy take it from you? Judy, why don't you bring it on stage for you? Please bring it on stage. You don't mind, do you, Judy? Judy, do you mind, or do you want to pass it off to somebody else? That's fine. Okay, Judy's coming up on stage. Judy, don't forget, be there Sunday, August 21st. You okay? It's a little hard to see. Sometimes it's a little dark. Come over here. Okay. And matter of fact, I'm going to put you on my left side, if you would. Would you take out the contents? You can just throw this down for now. Would you unwrap that? She says, it smells like moldy challah. Well, if you've been in a box for 4 weeks like Houdini was, you smell moldy and old too. It got through the United Post Office Service, and they x-ray everything. And would you take off the bag? And you'll notice that it's been wrapped by my instructions, so it wouldn't mold too bad. It will have some mold. Would you take off the plastic? Yeah, as best as you can. Yeah, I think it should come off pretty easily. It actually survived quite well. Well, it does have an interesting odor to it. And I think, let me see if I left it on the table here. Carlos. Have you done, I see the lost part of your hand. I'm trying to bring any, I didn't bring any wipes today. It's okay. So you're very nice. I'll hold it up here, please. I'll just hold it right up. Do you mind if I break this open? No. Okay, I'm going to try to, and I want you to break it open more, okay? You break it open. I had them bake something into this bread, and it's a container. I don't know if you can reach inside, and inside, I don't want to touch it. Inside the container, there is something there. Would you be kind? Do you see it? Yeah. Okay, you do. Inside, something was baked right in that. Would you be kind of stick a finger in there? Just a finger. Stick a finger in there, if you would, please. Just a finger. Just slide that out. Just slide it out. A piece of paper. Just the paper. Just the paper. Yeah, that's a baking. Come on, you got it? Yeah. You did. Okay, now don't open the paper. That is really icky. Not too bad though, it survived. I would eat it. I had sealed a prediction in that bread 4 weeks ago. Asked them to bake it in a special container that could survive the heat. And Judy, I'm going to ask you to come up to the front of this mic. And in a moment, you're going to read what that says. But right now, I want to thank everybody for allowing me to come on stage and have a little chicanery, a lot of fun in honor of Houdini, especially in honor of Cantor Benjamin Warshawski. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate it. It's certainly been my pleasure. As I said at the beginning, we came here a few years ago, and you brought our entire family into your hearts. Well, you are forever in my heart and my family's hearts for making us feel so wonderfully warm and loved and nurtured. Judy, step up to the mic.
And in a very loud, clear voice, the prediction that was sealed and cooked in that bread and sent through the United States Post Office Service. You opened it today. Would you please read it loud and clear?
Campaign jackpot. Buddhists, monks, vanish amid sex abuse claims.
Read it one more time. Quickly.
Campaign jackpot. Buddhist monks vanish amid sex